joined by head coach Mike Clark of Bridgewater College football. They were picked in a tie for 5th in this year's preseason poll. Coach, let's come out of last year a little bit. Talk a little bit about last season for you, the growth process you had with your team coming into this year.
Well, it was a struggle last year. We returned 28 seniors, really went in with high expectations, had 2 quarterbacks that both had game experience and quality game experience, and every now and then you have a season that gets away from you. That's what happened a little bit in 2015, and by anybody's standard, we underachieved. It's one we had to study, and then you really have to kind of let go of it and move on.
So coming into this season, you've got a couple places where you need to replace some athletes that you've had that have been experienced athletes, namely the quarterback position. You've had 2 guys last couple of years, although last year was just you kind of moved into just one quarterback a little bit toward the end of the year. But who's going to be your signal caller? Who's going to have the first shot taking the snaps this year?
Oh, we did. We lost, Ross and Matt that both played significantly over the last 2 years, and we moved to one quarterback after Ross hurt his shoulder, in Game 7. But that's an open question. I think Brendan Metairie got most of the repetitions in the modified spring ball that we get in the Division III setting. But I really think we have to – that's an open question. It's an open book. I think it's hard to make an evaluation there. Brendan a year ago had to take the year off. He had shoulder surgery that cost him. He took the season off. But at least through the spring situation, he got the majority of the reps. Anthony Lovelace, a very fast, athletic kid from down here in this area, from over in Rustburg. But, he was involved in track, as a 2-sport athlete. That really limited what he was able to do for us in the fall. But I think really in a quarterback-centric game, we're going to have to find out who that guy's going to be very quickly, and we're going to have to shape our offense around him.
One of the other spots where you need to find some people to tote the ball will be in your running game. Talk a little bit about that coming into preseason camp.
We just that again is an open book, a multiple eye offense that isn't too. I'll beat you running the football if you let me. I think the idea is we have to get production out of position. I really think the loss of Jacob Wright from 2 years ago, when I thought we were very good on offense and a very good football team. We tried to do that by committee last year. It didn't work out, and I really do think our offense is going to be a question mark just because the quarterback and the tailback position are kind of so understated right now. I think Zane Grzinski and Keith Jennings, we have quality people at tight end, and I think we'll have some size on the offensive line. Whether that can get in shape and stay healthy enough to be productive is going to be a key ingredient in what we try to do offensively.
Let's switch sides to defense now. You've got a couple gentlemen on the line you have to replace this year, but you still have some leaders back there on defense. Talk about this unit coming into the year.
Well, I think a year ago we made a commitment to play young on the defensive side of the ball. We thought we had athletic kids that were a little bit undersized, but we bit the bullet and tried to ride with them. We thought we were going to be a little bit better offensively than we were, and we had our issues. We were a great run and chase and tackle team. We weren't teams that played power football. Were able to manage us, and really we got to mature on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to be one of those years where I got to look as much at the long term as I do the short term, and every now and then you got to rebase something, and that's really where Bridgewater football's at right now.
Well, let's finish up here by taking a look at your perspective on the ODAC coming into this season.
I mean, I think you got to give a year ago, Washington Lee was a hot team. You got to give them credit. It's tough to go undefeated in this business, and they were able to. I also think that the league's a very competitive league. I don't know if there's a great team in it, but there's not a bad one. You got to be ready to play every week.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining me today. Good luck this season.
We're going to have to hustle hard, but sometimes that's when the most reward comes.